Oh, and we're live. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to Endwalker. And we're back with Sorin's journey into Final Fantasy XIV. So, things are looking good so far. No drop, well, a couple of drop frames, but compared to some previous streams, things are looking all good. So, last we left off, Sorin was in the past, back in the world unsundered. And while he was there, we learned the truth of the final days. That it's Meteion out there at the edge of existence, putting an end to all life. It's time to, now we're back, to bring this news to the Scions, and I suppose see what we can do about this. Let's get right to it. Oh. So, have you learned all more of the final days? I have. And the journey was well worth the risk. No doubt your newfound knowledge will be a great boon to us all. Unfortunately, during your time on the First, events here have taken a turn for the worse. The Scions are running themselves ragged trying to contain the spread of blasphemies, but it's a losing battle. Trying to ascertain the where and why of it, Alice and Alphino have been travelling all over. Of all the regions they've visited, Locus Amoenus is one of the worst affected. Bankra, Destinian, and Graha took a detachment of allied soldiers there to offer aid and succor to those in need. But the province is vast. They only managed to visit a handful of coastal villages. It was an accomplishment worth celebrating still, but drop in the bucket at best. In the meantime, Y'shtola and Master Matoya have been making a concerted effort to establish contact with Hydaelyn and the Ethereal Sea, but to no avail. As for Totaro and I, we've been keeping a close eye on the Forum. From what we gather, they've been constructing a vessel to ferry people to the moon. An ambitious project that has likely been years, if not decades, in the making. However, since we've seen no sign of it thus far, I suspect it's still incomplete. You will also recall the proposal issued by Master Fulchino to the people of Razatham. Following their discussion, Vitra declared his support for the plan, and urged those who wish to evacuate to accept the Forum's invitation. So far so good, but that's where things get a little strange. What's happened? Apparently, the Forum caught wind of the lunar teleporter in the Tower of Babel, and decided to use it to deliver people to the moon instead of their mysterious ship. I suppose that makes sense if we already know of a way to get to the moon. Therefore, to secure safe passage for the Hanish refugees to the tower, Alphino, Alize, Estinian, and Graha travelled to Garlemald not long ago. The trouble is, the capital was hardly the safest place to begin with, and now the final days have come to Garlemald. I shouldn't be too surprised, should I? Shortly after our friends arrived, they were sent to rendezvous with Master Fulchino. Then, panic broke out, and our communications were severed. From what fragments we were able to make out before the link shell went completely silent, we can only assume the phenomenon has spread to the capital. The others need you, Sorin. Please, you must help them. Of course. I've good news, but this is urgent. Having you there will make all the difference. I'm sure of it. Camp Broken Glass was their first port of call, so we'd best start there. Hopefully, Lucia will know where they are. There's no telling what you'll be walking into, so you had best take every possible precaution. I will. Should have guessed things wouldn't stay still while I was gone. Hello, Mooney. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Looks like they're ready for something. At least the final days here as well. Lucia? Sorin, not a moment too soon. The skies over Garlemald are ablaze, and it's events on the ground that concern me. As you will have heard, your fellow Scions arrived ahead of you. We cut the customary greetings short after we received word from our troops on the Magna Glacius that the Forum's airship had landed. It was then that the heavens began to burn. Oh, over to Twitch for the rewards. Yep, gotta get your free stuff. I dispatched your friends at once to ensure the refugees can't come to no harm. I would have you join them immediately. Additional support is en route. We will discuss them later. I trust you are ready to depart? Oh, hold up for that. I just remembered. Oh, gotta get a free 70. But set the client back to English. Good thing I remember before all the cutscenes. Earlier, on the Magna Glacius.
No. 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 We were promised an escape. Not the same doom we fled.
I shall not meet my final days here in this blasted waste. Calm yourselves. Your panic is our greatest enemy. Come, we must build a line of defense.
Really? Borsino doesn't want for courage.
How?
Leave the fighting to us, Father. You must lead the people to safety.
I can handle this pair. You?
Shall tend to the refugees. Let us be about it.
As you wish, my little lord.
We're Alpha now in this one? I knew this was an instance where you play as the other Scions, but I couldn't remember which one in particular. This one doesn't give you a chance to...
Our commander beats attention.
Oh.
See to the wounded.
Diagnosis... boy, I
Help is at hand.
would have done with time to figure this out. I can't... Oh, you can't customize this? Oh, this is going to be awkward. 5 is my basic damage. That's it. Nope. Oh, I don't like this.
Leave it to me.
Oh, I can sort it, but I need to do it here. Right.
Those who can stand, come
Okay,
with
it
me.
doesn't update until... Oh. Oh,
You're safe now.
okay. I can't have a heal be on number 1,
Easy
because
now. Deep breaths.
a heal on number 1 is going to have me constantly pressing the wrong button in combat.
Worry not for the refugees, but for yourself, boy.
Oh. Oh. Never mind. Sinian doesn't need help. Normally I don't mind too much having to put up with the new hotbar, but I can't do with having my number 1 not be a attack. A heal check. Look away.
Hard, but not hard enough.
Ooh, that was a lot of smacks. There we go.
What?
Oh, not over yet.
No. Don't. I don't want to die.
Forward! Let not a single fiend escape! Wait, that's...
The
Ulysses
Empire.
and the army. So, you've recovered then? In time enough to be of aid, for once. We can speak of it more later. For now, we must fight! To repay your salvation in kind, or with better! For Garlemald has her pride! Of that I've no doubt.
Good gods. Of all possible saviors, the Imperial Army.
Oh, that was a red mage look. I recognize that sound.
I had hoped to take all of them down at once.
Think a withdrawal might be in order?
Oh, sod that. You know who would never abandon these people to their fate. To be devoured by their former friends. That'd be beyond cruel. These beasts must fall here and now.
Well then, I'd say it's high time we threw caution to the winds.
So long as you spare me the heroic sacrifices. Now, let's go!
Oh, what my hand? There we can see. Combo on the first one. Procure, golden. Limit break. AoE. Big AoE. Oh. Oh. Excuse me. Who's next? Oh.
I'm fine.
Flame. Oh. Easy enough short this.
Not today.
Probably bring up a dialogue for this one. Now that I feel comfortable enough with the combos to focus on meteors again. Holy support. Right? Is this one where if I have Vercure, I probably need to use it, don't I? Raha looks like he can heal himself. Alexa. And now I've got the Ultraman Blazer ending song in my head.
I'm not done yet.
It wasn't already stuck there.
Nothing to worry about. The air crackles with energy. Find cover!
Radio. And here.
As they say, turnabout's fair play.
There we go.
On guard.
That's a lot of damage. Another dead beastie.
There's not the barest trace of ether. Maybe there really is no way to bring them back.
Thank you for saving our lives once again. I remember you, from Purusha. You helped us there too, didn't you?
Ah, you're from Palaka's stand. I'm glad you're still in one piece. Or you will be, once I see to that injury of yours.
Look out!
Oh, none yet.
Get out of here! Quickly!
Yeah, trailer scene. I'm sure Graha would love to know that he takes the place of the Warrior of Light in this scene.
Lose them. Not a one. This will be a brighter future. I won't let a madman's apocalypse ruin everything we've fought to achieve.
Get it together, Alize. You're embarrassing yourself. And in front of Father, no less. You might never measure up to our champion. But we ask too much of him as it is. You mustn't let Eorzea's hero fight alone.
I'm trying to think of any reason I can think for why Sorin would be this chill about wandering into the battle. Just kind of, yeah, it's kind of. I don't know if this works for Sorin. Sorry to keep you all.
I can look after myself, you know.
I don't doubt that.
Everything's in order, I trust?
All things considered. I think Sari told her never skip. Yeah, I could see that for Sari.
I've had enough of this rabble. Come on!
Here we go.
Oh, a trio for the ages.
Oh, sorry, I just noticed Gra doing his little job change there. Oh, let's get to it. If not out this far. It's my turn.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, so you're having two paladins is right now. Fair enough. Well, I don't remember seeing before him doing the actual job change. Now what?
I had a feeling I'd find you here.
Estinian, Alphino.
This should be the last of the worst troublemakers. With me!
This is the last. Euless will see the refugees to safety. We must keep the beasts at bay. Right. This is... Oh. Oh, nice. They do all count as party members. Yes.
Leave the healing to me.
I see Alphino say, leave the healing to me, and immediately see Graha just heal spamming.
I'm in your debt.
This way.
Now, where were we?
Quick enough. There we go. You said that was the worst of them, Estinian? Oh.
You must board without delay. The ship will depart ere long.
Your offer to host us in Sharlayan is most appreciated. But will the final days not soon fall upon it as well?
Your hesitation is not unwarranted. The satrap entrusted me with your lives, yet I have failed your comrades. Nor are you wrong to fear that this corruption will continue to spread. I cannot promise you complete safety, even in my homeland. What I can promise is that I will do all in my power to protect you. That power is not inconsiderable. Even now, my countrymen are preparing the vessel that will deliver us to a sanctuary on the moon. Join us on our journey there, and beyond, to new horizons. Come to old Sharlayan. Please.
These are the three who become... They join Tataru's boutique, isn't it?
We would be fools to refuse such a generous offer made in earnest.
It seems they've a new destination.
Not sure how to guide the other two yet. I'm fairly certain, because I went through it recently with my main character. The final step of those little side quests. So, which mount are you referring to, Nam? Is it the... I think, is it the Vinegaroon and Endwalker, and the Lion Sin-Eater in Shadowbringers?
The people of Radzat-Han have known too much suffering. The march to Garlemald will only bring them more, short though it may be.
I quite agree.
Fortunately,
they have you to look after.
Vinegaroon, yeah. I wasn't as bothered about Vinegaroon as I was about the... Is it Forgiven Redolence? Is the mount you get into Shadowbringers?
Yes. Well.
Or the Church's keyword out of... Oh.
Behind you! Just there!
What's happening? Another one.
More of them.
When does it end? Thanos. Xenos.
Xenos! Here!
Why are you...
You'll be alright. Hurry to the airship.
Almost forgotten about him.
Why have you come?
A heretofore unseen beast. 'Twas ripe for the slaying.
That's all you see this as?
Poor sport, alas. Unfit to temper my blade.
Oh, for the love of... You cannot still be on about a rematch.
That is and has ever been my sole concern. You, on the other hand, are fixated on a different quarry. Your passion pales before mine. Yet neither hate nor despair seem sufficient to recapture your misdirected bloodlust. So, I hone my blade and I wait.
That's it. That's all you care about.
Yes.
Garlemald is in ruins. Our homeland, the nation you rule, is as good as gone. Along with so many of its people. Not just soldiers like us. Not only those who fought and killed for power and duty. Innocent civilians. Murdered by their own flesh and blood. Lost and confused as they breathed their last. While we who survived with our lives and minds intact were left to freeze to death. The Eorzeans tell me all this was your doing! You slaughtered your countrymen! You did! For what?
For nothing, in the end. So much wasted effort.
You... You bastard!
For your own sake, Eulus, you must control your anger. It will serve no one should it consume you and see you transformed.
Everything lost. It's just...
Would you be happier had I a good reason?
What?
If my motives met with your approval, would you no longer resent the outcome? If so, then perhaps a beast's skin would suit you better. Duty, honor, morality. All constructs of convenience when put to proof. Surely the war taught you how easily power becomes the tool of the self-righteous. How the people's justice was merely a means to their ends? Yet you would ask me why. Ask any creature of this star and those above for answers, and they will tell you what suits their fancy. And they would be right to do so. What meaning there is to be found in the petty vicissitudes of your existence must be gleaned by you, and you alone. Should you seek it in battle in the fruitless pursuit of my demise, then come. Assume your rightful place as a notch on my blade.
Eulus?
You are a blight on the Garlean race, and there would be no more satisfying way to expunge it than by beating you to death. But I will not be party to another tragedy. I refuse to lose anyone else because of you. So go. Go! And may we never suffer your madness again!
Xenos! Perhaps you found meaning in living this way. I cannot deny you found strength. Yet if you only pursue your hedonistic pleasures and pay no heed to the plight of others, then no one will give you the time of day. You will never get what you want, not even the battle you pine for so dearly. You'll be alone for an eternity, and you'll deserve every agonizing second of it.
you just be glad he's leaving us alone?
We're ready to depart. The refugee ships will be leaving shortly, but I've asked mine to remain for the time being. There's room enough for you to join me on it, if you wish. Do contain your surprise. I needn't agree with the Scion's methods or intentions to acknowledge that their deeds are deserving of gratitude.
We appreciate the offer. But might I ask why you are delaying your departure? I presume it is not solely for our benefit.
I must visit Garlemald ere we return to Sharlayan. Having caused such an uproar, it is only meet that I explain myself to the Ilzabard contingent.
Allow us to accompany you then. We should be glad to facilitate, given our familiarity with all concerned. If you would like to join as well, Eulus, we can speak of recent events on the way.
He'll be after your seat on the forum next.
And we're back. Wait. Came back at a good time then, Minnie. I can't remember actually seeing that meme, but I think you've definitely mentioned it to me before. See Xenos there. So uncaring and unrepentant. Gods. I don't know what came over me. I just blurted out the first thing that came to mind, but looking back on it, I stand by those words. I would say I hope they won't incite him to further villainy, but to be honest, I doubt he even remembers what I said. Anyway, enough about all that. It's good to see you again. It's good to be back. I was Paladin level 91, which makes me feel I should swap to a different role, a different job. Let's head over to Reaper.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Forchano Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak. Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
Into White-Eyed Sea, yeah.
We swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
These people actually care?
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuno. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Sharlayan alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other I would doubt, but you I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it. Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks.
Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Right. Yeah, that'll certainly keep us busy. I have a lot to share.
Did you hear something just now?
I can't say I did. Is that a bird on a fierce? What are they all? Why are they here?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night.
Gee?
And to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
You're back.
it is heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose, ere I procure more suitable garments.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans.
Can we get Urianger inside before anything?
It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Aetheris. Urianger made it sound absolutely marvelous, more so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvelous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Urianger's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Hydaelyn's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Aye, not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Urianger made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Forgive me, but are they...
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Hydaelyn's right paw. That last bit is very important. As am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I, bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Loporrits made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable.
You're back at a good time. I was... Livingway needs Jan V for a very big deal. I've learned some things about the final data. You should probably hear.
Perhaps, but I followed my heart.
It's good to have you back, Urianger.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
I don't know if you'd call it wisdom, but I'll share what I know.
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Urianger catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Right.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
Gather up all the buddies. And we're back in Charlian. Yeah. Yeah, the moment I saw like the ear wiggle, I was wondering what your reaction was. Yeah, sure, somehow got more crowded, but still not. I mean, rabbits instant teleport. Yeah, it is nice when the teleport, when a cutscene does just take you to the next location. It doesn't go kind of, we're gonna let you stop and teleport and walk back to the next story destination, and then you can continue the story. I dare say Master Fulchino was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Hydaelyn's lunar custodians. As he will soon discover, they have much and more to offer the Forum. Might I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith? We may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures, ere we are summoned to the rostrum. Right. Do you need to get around explaining everything to everyone? Oh, you got to progressing a little bit in Heavensward. Oh, or did you use the Fantasia and go to the in-room and then just forget about the character? Yeah, I don't know if it's something you feel you have any need to make use of, but something I just remembered recently with my main character. No, I think it was one of my alts. Was there's a new quest you can get now in A Realm Reborn to get a second free Fantasia. Not that I'm complaining, Horianji, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor ID. In extolling the virtues of Epheus, I did inadvertently awaken in the Loporits a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Fantasia is only officially used when you make... Yeah. Trial tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I've news to share regarding our study of the Ethereal Sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest. Excuse me? And so I would rather hear them first. To what revelations did Hydaelyn's Elpis flower lead? Right. It took me on quite a journey. Then this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasha are one and the same, this all but proves Nadana's fury. We're an entity, through sheer force of emotion, that channeled this vast, dormant reservoir into a raging river. Its power might surpass even that of Ether. But if our star is so replete of Ether, the said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamis of the Great Expanse. Meteion. Or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she has been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred were drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose: the destruction of Ephesus. Then our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim: to defeat Meteion. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Meteion, and we deliver the world from the final days. But to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Meteion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Venat, the woman who had become Hydaelyn. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Hydaelyn and the Venat you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I'd wager that Hydaelyn possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Ephesus, not to stay. Do you suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Meteion? I don't think so. I can't help but think of her as someone who wouldn't give up that easily. That's my impression too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have used me as a conduit for her will, or provided clues such as the Elpis flower. I believe she has been waiting. Mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So, what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Meteion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. And communion with Hydaelyn must by necessity come first. Did you and Master Meteion have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not. Though we enlisted the help of Arenvold and other Echo-blessed allies, we couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Hydaelyn, even from within the Antitower. Master Meteion is of the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Hydaelyn. If so, it would most likely be some form of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea, built closer to home. Someone there? Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the roster, where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. Then Bother was able to persuade them. They're finally taking us seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. Maybe this will give us another clue. Off to the roster. Yeah, you definitely do have more. The character creator does feel a little... You have more options for like seeing what you're actually getting, which is nice. I've not seen too much of it. Excuse me. The forum is in session, and as such, the roster is closed to visitors. So, I'm with the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. we were told to... A sign of the 7th dawn. Very well, you may wait in the corridor. Of course, entry will only be permitted on the condition you leave your armaments at the door. Lest you forget, this sacred institution holds rational discourse in the highest. The implements of war are expressly forbidden. Of course. His dialogue hasn't changed. Why do we have to wait at the far side of this circle corridor? Sari is... yeah, of course Sari would think that. You dare to question? I'm not questioning what she thinks. I'm just saying that I'm agreeing with what she thinks.
There is a matter I wish to raise with you before we enter.
Alphino?
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
I trust you know what you're doing.
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
You're just very careful. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence.
It's always easier to get things right. To put the effort into getting things right first time rather than having to go back and fix it.
The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the 7th Dawn at their request on the Great Exodus. You may enter.
You had to use free Fantasia. Ooh.
On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glaciers. We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Radzat-Han. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Radzat-Han was foremost among these, but since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The ether burner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the ether burner's efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
"'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the anti-tower had you no other means of communication.
Are you going to try and fix the stream setting so your viewers can get it? Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough. I can send you the link through to this system I use, Money, if you want to try and stream to both. If you want to make sure you're streaming to both YouTube and Twitch.
One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration.
Shane.
I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it. and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms?
Looks like a majority, doesn't it?
"71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it. Fortuneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
I'm trying to remember what, in this case, Fortuneau's reason for not it's not like the Scions are asking for them to stop. He's not. We're not trying to get in his way. He doesn't shine any lights on it there. Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was, admittedly, thinking on my feet for the most part. But since we require both a means of communing with Heidelin and reaching Meteion, in the spur of the moment, I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the Ark as a way to work towards both objectives simultaneously. However, we must first keep our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the ether burner. I'd like to think it is not a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an ether burner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Right. I'm not too sure how much help I'll be in this situation. As instructed, I shall take you to see the ether burner. Meet me outside the Archeon. I trust you can make your own way there. So the Ark is being built in Labyrinth. Hardly surprising. Where else could they conceal such a massive undertaking? The Archeon, I guess. As Cullis disappears, this does not feel like a practical place for an Aephorite to be. I feel it would be highly inconvenient to kind of, oh, let's teleport to work. Let's teleport to work. Oh nope, you're ankle deep in water now. Better always pack a second pair of socks and shoes with you. Our destination lies in the lower levels. The Forum, in its wisdom, has granted you access to the Archeon's lift. Step inside and have Opheline take you to the medial circuit. Right. It's a bit more. Everyone immediately gets wet shoes. Yep. Only a little more convenient that we can use the lift and not have to go all the way around that cave again. Have the others gone on ahead? I've sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha. on the other side of Mariol ergonomics. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to... No, never mind. It can wait. Let us attend to the matter at hand. What is that about? That's the wall over there. Guess it's a building, maybe? Still no more blue quests to get. Ether currents. So without being able to play Sorin much of my own time, it's going to be a little awkward to unlock flying in areas. The wheel at the top, but just trying to figure out where that shadow's coming from. It is a building, and quite an impressive one. You don't need to now. Like I can get by without flying. I know I don't want to open myself up too much to the opportunity of asking people to play games with me, because that feels almost like it's, I don't know, I'm cheating my way out of my self-discipline. If there are any times people want to play with me, feel free to ask. We have to wait here while our father arranges for us to use the next lift. So, down to the next level. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinth are regulated. Water is drawn from underground and dispersed as vapor, stimulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation of the biological samples kept here. Hold on. How do you know so much about it? Why, Father brought me here as a child. Oh yeah, that's Minnie's Minnie's plan for next Saturday when me and her together is watching. She's getting me to watch Avatar finally. After I got her to watch Ultraman Rising with me this week. Oh, speaking of Ultraman Rising, good film. If you have Netflix now, you should give it a watch. Left me behind. Actually, you were the one who left me behind. When you went off somewhere with Grandfather. The night before, I'd been asking Father how clouds were made, so he decided to show me. It was fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. You enjoyed Kamen Rider Morning? Well, I'm kind of hoping I will as well, because I've heard a lot of good things about Avatar The Last Airbender. It's just... It's one of those things where kind of I don't have enough investment to start it when I have other things I'd rather be doing. What? I think. Let me just check something. How was it? I'll watch it at some point. Yeah, it's one of those situations. 61. Yeah, 61 episodes. I could probably manage. Yeah, 61 episodes is something I can probably manage. So that's one thing. I do struggle sometimes with shows that are... Once you hit 50 episodes in something, to me that can quite often be a turning point in my enjoyment. But no, if it's only 60 something episodes, that should be fine for me. It took forever to finally watch Overlord and stuff. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's several. Hearing it's only 61 is mind-blowing too. Yeah, I was kind of... So I quickly brought just up the Wikipedia article on Atla. And I was expecting it to be more than 61. Yeah, it's kind of a soft rule I have with a lot of shows I watch, where if it has more than 100 episodes, I kind of know ahead of time I'm not going to watch the whole thing. My attention span or my interest is going to drop off before I get to episode 100. It is all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Labyrinth in recreating a similar environment, I have come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient Zodiac, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique, yet undeniably similar. It is no mere coincidence. Ever since Hydaelyn unfolded to us the grim fate that awaited Ephyros, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos, in preparation for the Great Exodus. That is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Loporrits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I have arranged for you all to enter the Central Circuit. It is there that most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions, and will have free rein to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust. Your trust. And let us proceed. Well, filler camp. Yeah, filler is... I feel what filler does is filler demonstrates how good your characters are when disconnected from the plot. Because if you have good and entertaining characters who are fun to watch, then they'll still be fun to watch even when disconnected from the main plot a little. But if it's your plot that's good, and your characters kind of need the quality of the plot, then when you take away that plot, you kind of realize these characters are kind of eh. Then there's Naruto filler. I have watched about 3 episodes of Naruto, and that's all. That's as far as I managed. So much filler. This is the central circuit. What are those walls of light are about? The ether burner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Kokol Dankol, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary introductions have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. Bleach has a lot of filler too. Yeah, Bleach had quite a bit of filler. Bleach was the show I think that kind of convinced me that I can't deal with long shows too well. And I think as well it was Bleach was like the first anime I actually watched through. Creatures down here as well. Is that Earth aspected ether? There being an anime that explains the anime's industry. Oh, that's I think is that Gintama. But it explains one of the reasons for filler, and yeah, it's quite often comes up. Yeah, because you mainly have filler in anime that's adapted from a source material that's currently airing. And it's when the anime is made quicker than the manga is being written. And it's kind of like, well, we still need to keep to our weekly broadcast schedule, so we'll just make a short plot up ourselves and hope that it doesn't ruin the overall plot. Which I think is why as well, like, some anime that are based on a manga kind of start telling a different story because they kind of start on a filler plot and then realize, we've done something that means we have to do it differently now on. Yeah. To the One Piece thing, I kind of heard that it's apparently like not many filler episodes, but I've also heard that that's kind of on a technicality, and within the episodes that aren't filler, there's a lot of filler content in non-filler episodes. Oh yeah, the Full Metal Alchemist versus Brotherhood, yeah. Something like that. Yeah, with One Piece, yeah, I had heard that a lot of the main episodes have like a lot of flashbacks and episode recaps and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting too distracted by stuff. Back to Final Fantasy.
I could swap them out. No. Been there, done that. Damn near lost my eyebrows.
Think, Kokol, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes, that does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better or worse. Which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the Ether Burner conundrum.
Hello there.
Huh. Not seen you lot down here before.
I don't think we've been down here before.
There are Archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the ether burner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the ether burner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Labyrinth?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive.
Right.
It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded. As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalamud's construction and launch.
Oi, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ins like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the Northern Empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. But according to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up.
Can we help by going in there and...
It's rough going in there, even for the Queen. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
Weren't we near that part of the Ragnarok when we went to destroy Bahamut?
Did I do the coils of Bahamut with Sorin? I don't remember doing that, but apparently I have. I was... Right, we could go back and...
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
That second option.
There are multiple internment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
Which link shell was this again?
What's all this?
Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavenward.
Sorry, there's something about the Endwalker theme guitar that just... it just works.
This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-foot expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists, or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, boom!
I gather you heard his explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? There's plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Anything this time. I always expect this. I still feel like in all those moments, Fortuno is just trying to hold back a smile. It's times like these we're reminded of how famous or infamous Alphino has become. Who'd have thought he could achieve so much with a single linkable conversation? As we're expecting rather a lot of visitors in the near future, I'd best return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contact of my own that might be worth a try. Oh, and who might that be? That's for me to know, and you to find out. And on that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. Straight to a cutscene. They walk, yeah, running around while talking. Meanwhile, in Ul'dah, Yeah, I wanted to address what you and Nam were bringing up and talking about, but I can't sit still and talk.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and brass blades for support as you must. Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials. Viergeist, we have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberg will personally see it done.
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you take charge of the search for Allagan relics. Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it.
That's Primal Timber in the background. Sorry. I like this music track. It is a shame you only hear it during the Coils of Bahamut.
The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
In the Black Shroud.
We fielded a goodly number, but our ranks are heavy with healers, and an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Oh.
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Are our deficiencies so plain to see?
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Then I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Oh yeah, you don't stream Final Fantasy on your PC. Yeah, that's a point. I don't know if I could help you stream on Twitch for Final Fantasy. You'd have to buy yourself a PC license for my advice to be of any use.
There you are! We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already... Ah.
Rest in peace, our friend.
That was a roar! A dragon's roar!
Ruby Sea.
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honourable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Is that...
Hancock? What a surprise this is. And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
See you. Alphino's resisting the urge to pat himself on the back. He hasn't completely lost his pride. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they have arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else you might do to be of service? You've already done more than enough. I have to say though, I could use someone who knows a thing or two about Allegan technology. You there, lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more than the average scholar. If you're looking for Allegan knowledge, Graha's definitely your man. If only Master Coco knew how right he was. While he and Graha established a rapport, why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favour. Hello. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarise ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse, And, if nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Right. Well, I'm always around to help out. Ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers? If you don't mind to lend a hand, I know where you want to go. Guardian Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types. Visiting themselves, prepping for the Exodus. That lot need all the help they can get. Well then, off we go. Alright. Quicker to go anti-clockwise. I had just been thinking of something to say and then my brain decided to completely blank on me for it. That says it's just ahead where the next defrite is. From what I can tell, a lot of the people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Montachane mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. You import mods from... yes and no. You can't do it directly. You have to download the video from Twitch to your hard drive, and then you have to re-upload it to YouTube as a separate video. Well, that was one of the reasons why I kind of moved over to YouTube first before I started streaming on both. Is because with my memory and ADHD, I kept forgetting to download my VODs off Twitch because Twitch will automatically delete your videos after, I think, 7 days. So you are time limited on how long Twitch stores your videos. It's not like YouTube where it's a permanent storage, and people can't. No, I think people, other people can watch back your VODs, but only for that 7 days. Is it even 7 days? Yeah, I think it's 7 days. I think you get more if you're a Twitch affiliate. But that's why there's no VODs of some of my previous streams I did that exist anymore, because my brain just kept forgetting to spend the time to download and upload them. Right. Look for people in need of help. That's, I suppose, back to business as usual. Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to trouble you, but help with the Ark. Even with all the power Master Kokol's managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, still not enough, apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. Only we'd begun the Exodus sooner. People are dying. There'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. We will. We've spent years preparing for this moment. Believe in the plan, and all will be well. Starting to wonder if it's worth the effort. Yeah, like, the prizes I don't think are too much. Hey, Minnie. Sure, Minnie. If your viewers want a reward, sure just tell them to come and watch my streams. I'm always here. A stream and a hot. Two of my streams, that'll get them all the rewards. Not worth advertising my channel. Oh, hello. Are you wanting new helpers? In a sense. We're working on the ether burner. Oh dear. I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties. Checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The Form's got enough on their plate as it is. What of deciding who gets to board the Ark and when? Lots of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fulchino and the others. Hard to get a moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? No, nothing, money. Don't. You don't need to listen to my suggestions. Tune to this while I see it. I'm convinced Charlian is trying to actively discourage use of their Aetherites in Labyrinth. I had said as a joke, Minnie, you could just, if you want your viewers to get the rewards, you can just tell them to watch my streams. No, don't. There's no need to put people through my content. I'm offering to help. It's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly lists of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like that padded rabbit ran by. A padded rabbit? Huh. There are Labyrinths here. I'm not. I brought it up as a joke, Minnie. But you can always use that as a retort if people are asking why you're not streaming on Twitch for the rewards. That's living way in the others. Hello. Fancy meeting you here, Sorin. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is the Ferris itself, so we now find ourselves in a sort of funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour. It appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around. Or at least that's what we were planning to do, until we chanced upon Urionji and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? I don't know if I'd say we're idle. Would you, Urionji? The tour of Labyrinth. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's burrow, it would be in our best interests to have the Loppers acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing, rather than broadening their perspectives. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture.
What a marvelous idea! Why don't we begin with that great big, what's it over yonder?
Ah, yes, the what's it. I shall leave its explanation to Sorin. Hurry on. Say, why... I wonder if he's setting me up for something. What? Ranji, what am I here to explain? The Loppers' technical expertise doth far outstrip our own. We would be wise to allow them to form their own conclusions as to the function of the various apparatus, rather than offer uninformed suppositions of our own. Unless, that is, unbeknownst to me, thou art possessed of surpassing knowledge concerning the construction and operation of advanced Charlian... what's-its.
Goodness me! Build something so large without creation magics. It's positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important features.
Right. What am I looking at?
Oh, hello.
Is that a... You spot an Abastoma, an especially lively one at that. It would appear that the concept you observed in another time, another place, was approved for life in the wider world. Somehow.
It didn't.
Blue tanks? Oh, I have to go through all of them anyway.
It's a little hard to see from here. It's not a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks. I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. Ah, this must be for purifying water drawn up below.
Right. Oh, there's also this... tube.
Is that water I hear from inside that great big tube? Oh, it must be because of those cogs, that gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too.
I'm sure there is. So...
That looked like the trees in Greatest Endsvale. Hold on. It's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense.
It's where they store the water. Right. It's all water.
Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn up from underground, presumably of some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity.
I dare say it would take only a moment to install in even the harshest of environments. Reverse Labyrinth, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that people of Afir sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Well, most places would, even if it's a small one, find a source of water and build around it. So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep it from drying out completely. It would appear they rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Right. Mayhap the Loporits will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlian Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean you'll have us brave the untamed wilderness? Excuse me? A valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of this settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dare dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, too many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth. Loporits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as an escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Leave it to me. This is something I do know how to do. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. Well, shall we get going? If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not be eaten by some hard beastie. Come along, Growing Way. Bit of water extraction, what's it? And they're off without me. Just hope they don't get themselves into trouble too quickly. Just be careful, I'm going to keep an eye out for anything. There's one. Alright. I think the path's clear. Thank you so much. I really hope this water extraction is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of this fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp. It's all the same to you. Mean that you need a capture card to stream both? Yeah, quite possibly. I've been thinking I'd like to try and invest in a capture card for my computer at some point. So I could potentially stream games onto Switch. I don't have any other consoles. My friends, I bid you welcome to Logisticon Alpha. Our destination doth lie at the lift's top. Pray follow me. You have an Elgato that's still very conditioned? Ooh, like oh. I have an Elgato Stream Deck. I don't have a capture card. Marvelous. Simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that the Fierce just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous. I cannot wait to see more of it. A change of what? This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? I believe both the knowledge and consumables you seek may be found at Muriel Agronomics. As I imagine singing away and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus, wouldst thou be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Of course, it's not too far from here. Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Urianji was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention the Fierce will soon be no more. So I must learn all I can while there is still time. Let us brook no further delay. Alright. Off he goes. Could do with the hay fever not giving me a sore throat. I see you found it, Greenway. This is the place, yes? Heady aroma was enough to guide me here. I've spotted several of the fruits and vegetables featured in our compendium. I dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to farmers' crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they'd be willing to part with a few samples. I don't know about the being put into pies thing, but it's certainly not polite. And there come the hiccups. Excuse me, sir. What a fine mess this is. Sir? Ah, it's you. I want to climb down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here, up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star to form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden. So unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin? Well, grapes are always a good start. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes. Let's see if they are delicious as they are as delicious as they look. I still got. You have to look into some. Yeah, you've got a bit of time to look into it. I've got my. I've got my the stress grapes I got from the fan fest still about. So sweet, so sour. Oh, the taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar. Oh, far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Meh. Sorin wouldn't be so extreme, but yeah, Sorin. I think Sorin would like his grapes. I do quite enjoy them, if I may say so. Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. There's something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. There's the trees over here. Orange by name, orange by nature. Nice reference to the story. Oh yeah, him going into a volcano. I don't remember if we were told like why. I wonder if it was for some grapes. Was the reason he braved the volcano. What came first? The fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat! Yes, that's equal parts sweet and sour. That's with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Urianji about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. This is all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, many choices, and each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation. Let no one say I said otherwise. Speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in that field over there. Which one? The other side. These are pumpkins. Color. Texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots? Not quite. No. In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Ugh, so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop! Can't you see these are pumpkins? No one of any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients we may safely eat. But above all else, Cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. And pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Then perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder though, if there's anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Tree. Oh, these are called lemons. I've actually got my lemonade gamer stops at the moment is what I'm drinking. Oh, what a wondrous fragrance. With luck, it'll have a flavor to match. Because I've no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite it. Cooking way, I wouldn't, my tongue. This is poison. No, it's, you're not supposed to eat them quite like that. Lemon. It's supposed to taste like this? How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. You imagine that noise he made to be like the fishes. I am quite. Yeah, I think I'm quite partial to lemon flavored stuff. But yeah, even I would not go for just eating a lemon as is. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored of the grapes and oranges. Less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they are not to be eaten raw. And there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. First time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with a bad taste in your mouth. In more ways than one. So I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. Just thinking of biting into a lemon makes your cheeks... Yeah. When he's talking about lemon muffin, I want a lemon muffin. I was at the... After I was at the gym on Friday, I went... Yeah, after I visited the gym, I tend to go to... there's a butcher's shop that has a really nice deli, and I can get a tortilla wrap with chicken and salad. But this time they had kind of just next to the checkout some like baked some things from a bakery they partnered with, and they had lemon muffins sitting right there. I cannot resist a lemon muffin if it's put in front of me. You're not big on lemon? Lemon is definitely a flavor I very much like when it's used well. It was one of my favorite things we made in home economics class in high school was a lemon drizzle cake. Poor lemon, have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. That is not the sound a lemon muffin makes. This is delicious! Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed that some vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See? We rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes. The same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal. And sometimes, that can even be the difference between life and death. Blended into a smoothie. I know I won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonized over what was worth preserving, and what will be assigned to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Hydaelyn sees in your kind. Quicken way? Mankind. Loporits. We were both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. It is the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect. To be content with what we have, and make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Pardon my Eorzean, but what the seven hells are you on about? Who are you, anyway? Cooking way, at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of the fiercest species as possible, if you're up to the challenge. Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Well, this has all been highly productive. Probably. Let's go and see if Urianji and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Let's go and see. Gisticon. I was kind of hoping to get to the dungeon today, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. Because the dungeon, I think, and the trial kind of flow straight into one another. So I'd like to leave them together. And I feel I'll possibly get to the start of the dungeon. Like, not to the start of the dungeon, but to kind of the point in the story where the dungeon's you're about to reach it. That was most enlightening, especially the part of the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? Well, there's the Culinarians Guild, where I come from, in Limsa. Could do worse than investigate there. Would I had time to visit? The more I learn of Ephesus, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Hydaelyn's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there were some other way. Sure there isn't. I suppose that's what we're trying to find out. Sorin, I trust thy time at Muriel Agronomics did bear fruit. Our own efforts, too, were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guest's relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them, and us, for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlie and Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Loppert there, should further questions within my power to answer arise. Right. Rowing way? Aww. A wee bit of a teleport. Everything alright, Burnway? Well, what's up? Yes, Sorin, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw the reconstructed environmental data for Epheris at Logisticon Alpha, that's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. Are all of your forests like that? Most of them would be. If we had time, I'd show you the Black Shroud. It's one of the largest forests I know. Gasp! Gasp, I say! A star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise. I assumed that the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous we must seem to you. Trying so hard, yet achieving so little. Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy than for their uniqueness. Who's this? I thought I heard tiny voices. Oh, Bankert. How didst thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the Forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work. Equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death. We can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not. But aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Me? But be of use to people. I'm honored you would think me so capable, but I'm not sure that I'm up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in thee. If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try. I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with him. As good a place as any. Come. Yes, I'll see what's going on as well. I don't feel they needed to make the background music for Labyrinth this background track. Just for the quest you're doing, it feels a little bit more high tension. Excuse me, sir. Oh, can I help you? we were actually wondering if we could help you. It is you who would help me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I'm an engineer, you see. What they say of the ship? That it's the sum of decades of Charlian ingenuity? That it's built with peerless Allegan technology? Is all true, but I know that none of that's a guarantee. I've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been underground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage, but even so, if it fails us then, what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We thought the ether burner's design was flawless too, and look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and thus dost thou hold the power to allay his fears.
Oh, I'm not sure about that, but, well... Maybe you could tell me if there are any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about.
Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment, but what if it's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we've left the star?
Aha! Gravitation! Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places...
That seems to be a... I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. I think we can leave them to it. Yet if Thancred's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporits to attend them?
Excellent idea, if I do say so myself. There's naught we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Epirus, and learn more about them while we're at it.
Full glad am I to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Sorin, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek thee out the distressed and the apprehensive, and inform them that help is at hand. I shall await them here, that I might introduce each to a suitable Loporit. Right. Leave it to me. Just find people in trouble.
Oh, I do so look forward to that. A place for every Loporit, and every Loporit in their place.
I don't... There we go. Hello there. Apologies, but I'm awaiting a delivery. Whatever it is, we'll have to wait. Sorry, I'll leave you to it. Maybe I'm best looking at my focus inside the hamlet. Register with the Chocobo Keep. Hello, sir. Have you heard anything of what's on the moon? I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but just searching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars on gods knows what, made by gods know who. Well, actually, there's some representatives from the moon here in the hamlet right now. If you head to the... You mean to say that I can speak with him directly? Amazing! I hope you like questions. Well, we've got one enthusiastic visitor. Hello there. Worries? Worries. No, I believe I'm fine. Thank you. I've been confided in my colleagues and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough. If she's doing well, no need to bother her further. Are there people outside the hamlet? Can't recall. Circle feels bigger than it would have to be if there's no one outside the hamlet. Excuse me, sir. Blasted assistants. Where have they gone off to at a time like this? I beg pardon, but I have not the time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm that ether levels are consistent throughout the vessel's machinery. It seems I shall have to do so single-handedly. I swear, when I find those assistants of mine... Actually, if you're looking for... help... The Labyrinths are willing to help? Why didn't you say so? At least they won't moan about how they checked 2 dozen times already and haven't slept in weeks. Lazy sods. I kind of feel bad for his assistants. Is everyone here? How hard they must have been working for all of this. Excuse me. How might I help you? I was actually wondering that myself. There are some Labyrinth representatives from the moon here. My, what a lovely idea. I too noticed people coming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I need only track down 100 or so cups. Don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. This woman is doing better than you are. Right. It's kind of reassuring to find these people who are doing well. Anyone else? Hello, sir. Is anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense plated as a piano. Feet and knees as drums and cymbals, too. I'll let you have a rest, then. Doesn't feel like his questions would be helped by Labyrinths. Sir? Is everything alright? Just leave me to my misery. Form can appoint someone else. I apologize, I simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? Actually, there's well, if you can believe me, a starship pilot here in the hamlet right now. One of the representatives from the moon. You know a starship pilot I might speak with? Truly? Well then, there's no time to waste. I think it can help me prepare for this monumental task. Someone else? Guess I can keep looking. Excuse me. Ma'am? I was just wondering. Consult our collaborators. I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips. Should the ether burner make our original estimates unfeasible? There are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. But perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purposes. Thank you for letting me know. You're welcome. Hello there. Can I help you? I just wondered if... My face. What's wrong with my... Perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring that the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate. I can hardly make the decision myself, and I know so little about the environment up there. If you're wondering about the environment, there's actually some representatives from the moon here now. Including the Loppers in our discussions is a wonderful idea. I absolutely will, thank you. Perhaps their biology itself might offer some clue as well. Is everything okay here, sir? You! Yes, you! You idiot! Have you seen an envelope lying around? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemic I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment. I can't say I have. Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned envelope, I doubt there'll be more help than you. You've already wasted enough of my time already. It would be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the Lords. Sorry, sir. I'll leave him with you. Excuse me, ma'am. What am I thinking about? Medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sages and chirurgeons, but imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us. Say nothing of the effects that living out there indefinitely might have on the body. There's actually some people here who might be able to help you. The crew from the moon! Why did I not think of that? Well, she's got her help. Excuse me, ma'am. The end of the world is nigh, and yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things. Feasible one moment, utter bollocks the next. And yet, I've never felt so alive. This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. Yeah. I'll have to leave her to it. Sir? Is everything okay here? 56 bunches of wheats on the ground, 56 bunches of wheat. Rip one out after the mound, 55 bunches of wheat on the... Oh, I'm not neglecting my duty, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but then I found myself unable to relax at all, so I went on a walk, and then I noticed these weeds, and... Pleasant conversation partners, and oh so fuzzy. Oh, goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Right. Getting distracted when you notice a chore that needs done. Is that a... Nope. Not someone who needs help. Here. I've been around most of the Howland at this point. Excuse me. Concerns? Nay. There's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work go that much slower. This woman seems to be coping well. Right. Who is there anyone in the area I might have missed? Where have I missed someone? There we go. Sir? By the gods, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Sir? Please, calm down a moment. Just deep breaths. Do pardon me, I can see you there. There is no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern, even though we may need to depart at any moment. And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind, but that is highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Highly. Sir, can I suggest you... There are some of the Loppers here from the moon, visiting the hamlet. You could talk to them about it, get some second opinions. Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Oh, why, that would be wonderful. I'm breathing more easily already. Looking around, that seems to be everyone I could see who's in trouble. And looks like everyone's gathered here. Behold, Sorin. Through thine efforts, word hath spread throughout Labyrinth, verily, to a far greater number than we anticipated. Livingway doth gather more Lopperts as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, my privy. Suppose being on hand can't hurt. I don't know what else I can do at the moment until the plan moves forward. Livingway?
Phew! Oh, finally some rest. Why, I haven't spoken so much in, well, in forever.
Good work.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt.
Okay.
Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget...
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Very Urianger, alright. Banquet?
Wilson and Blovida, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
Moonbreeders. Oh.
It hath been some time. 'Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blovida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while. Arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy, our daughter, trusted and believed in more than anyone, grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Urianger, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder, she was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Oh, Sorin. Be assured that I am fine. Now. Full glad to see them too, after so very long. Gladder still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone. As much as I kind of want to keep going a little bit, that's me at time. It's gone past 10 o'clock. So I think I'll be finishing up here. But definitely getting ever closer to the end of Endwalker. It was especially clear seeing the level 88 enemies. And we're fairly close to the level 89 dungeon. So actually thinking about it, I could be finished Endwalker this week. It might be a case of if I account for Friday being a stream that goes on a bit later than usual. I think that, yeah, Sorin could get to the end of Endwalker this week. But we'll have to see how things go. Definitely, if not this week, I feel definitely Monday next week will be the finale. And then, just to mention again, I will be taking a little bit of a break from Sorin's journey. before, maybe a month or two before getting back to do the patch quests for Endwalker. And do things like the raids and the raids and the Alliance series. There's no trial series in post Endwalker, I think, because I think it's tied into the main story quests. I think like the extra trials were in After A Realm Reborn. But with all that said, that is me for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with continuing this on, where it'll be... I don't know how much further we'll get, but it'll definitely be finishing off Labyrinth, I feel. At the very least. Probably the next dungeon. But with all that said, thank you so much for coming along and watching. I really hope you enjoyed. And until the next time I see you, I hope you have a good evening, have a good night, and goodbye.